The question for our Red Glasses time together today is, so why do we need Jesus anyway? We talk about our country and how our country is messed up, screwed up. The only way we change our country is to change people. You see, there is a reason why people are bad. There's a reason why people are hateful and dishonest and selfish. There's a reason behind all of that. And so often what I see is people try to rearrange the circumstances of people's lives, but they're really not getting to the root cause, the root problem. There's something deep within the human being that is dysfunctional and wrong. And so therefore, how do you deal with that? What is that deeper thing? There's a reason why we're in the situation we're in our country with people and why we are the way they are. So let me give you a couple thoughts on that. First of all, the scripture says that I have offended God. Romans 3:23 says, for all have sinned and come short of what God expects. Secondly, the scripture says in Romans 6:23, the very first part of that verse, that the wages of sin is death. And so therefore, there's a penalty that needs to be paid on my behalf and on your behalf because I have offended a holy God. Sin basically is missing the mark. Sin is basically perhaps defined as a spiritual cancer. In other words, there's something inside of me that wants to cause me to do what I want to do when I want to do it. We got a deeper problem, a deeper issue here. The third thing is the scripture teaches that Jesus paid that penalty. When Jesus Christ, over 2,000 years ago, died on a cross, God's plan was to put his son on that cross and to put on him the penalty, which was death. He died in my place. He took that penalty. He paid the wages over 2,000 years ago. But just knowing that doesn't really do me any good. The scripture goes on to say that he gave his life to take care of that debt. And we can see that it was at the very time that we were powerless to help ourselves that Christ died for sinful men and women. When we were at our worst, when we were powerless to do anything to change our situation, God, through his son Jesus Christ, came and took on himself the biggest problem that hinders me from being the person he wants me to be, the sin in my life. So, the scripture goes on to tell us that not only did he pay the debt, but he has offered us a gift. The scripture says in Ephesians 2:8, it says that we have been saved by grace, that grace is a gift of God. It's nothing we could do to earn it or to get it or to obtain it. It's a gift. It's wrapped up in the person of Jesus Christ. So what do I do with the gift? I have a choice. You have a choice. And the scripture tells us that to as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become a child of God. And so there comes that point in my life when I see that there's no way in and of myself that I can have a relationship with a holy God, that I've offended him, that Jesus Christ has come and died on a cross to take that debt on himself. And he's offered this forgiveness and this relationship to be united through his son, Jesus Christ, that I cry uncle and say, Lord, thank you. I receive the gift of Jesus Christ. I receive your son into my life. Part of doing that receiving is to admit that we need him, to admit that we have offended him, and then to ask him to come into our lives. What's the result of that? The result of 2 Corinthians 5:17 says when you come to know Christ, when Jesus comes into your life, you become a brand new person. You get to start all over again. So here's my point in the Red Glasses Talks today. You want to be kinder? You want to be nicer? You want to be gentler? You want to be more loving? You want to be less hateful? And on and on? You want all these superlatives and all these positives to be named about you? Then you got to get unscrewed. And the only way to get unscrewed is to get to know Jesus Christ and have him invade your life. And then watch him change you from the inside out. You think about that.